Hey everyone, my name is Rosie and welcome back to my channel. Now, if you've watched a lot of my videos, you're probably well aware of my organizational system that I use to organize and store my cutouts. But I did want to make a dedicated video on this so I have a place to point people when I get asked this question. Now, I have two systems, one for full page, larger images that I've cut out and haven't had a chance to use yet, and then another system for smaller, more delicate cutouts. And let's start with this one. When I first started collaging, I definitely could get away with a small plastic box like this when I just had a couple images that I needed to keep somewhere so I didn't lose them. This definitely worked for me, but I've outgrown this. I've also tried a lot of other things, accordion type folders, other folders. None of those have worked for me. What I use now is a binder and some plastic sheets. This system is definitely not that fancy, but it works really well for me. All I did was take a good amount of sheet protectors and put these into a 3-ring binder. Then once they're all in there, close this up. And then you could stop here and just put your cutout straight into this plastic sleeve. That would be fine. But what I did was add a piece of cardstock. This is just normal blank white cardstock. I put a single piece of cardstock in every sleeve that I wanted to use. Now you have a nice background so you can see your images better. So once you have your cardstock in your sleeve, you can just take your cutouts. I grouped all of these gems together so they can sort of live together. And then you just put your cutouts in the sleeve and it keeps them nice and protected. And then once you have all your pages filled up, you can flip through this just like a book and see everything really clearly. And you can organize this however you like. I group things by like thing. So here's my mushrooms folder and planets, everything sort of space related. But then also I have some miscellaneous sort of catch-all places where I've just kind of thrown things. I have my gems, a couple of food things, cactuses, people, a couple of turtles. And this makes it really easy. You can just reach into the plastic sleeve, pull out what you're looking for, or you can take the entire page with you if you want to, just take it to your desk, flip through it for the project you're working on, and then when you're done, just put it back into the binder. And again, just flip through and you can make this as big or as small as you want or as you need. And it just makes everything really easy to see. And that's probably my favorite part of this. It's not a box you're rifling through. You can just flip through this like a book. And I really love this system a lot. Here's all my animals and dinosaurs. And I got a couple shoes, some random body parts. You really can just organize this however you want. This is probably a little bit of a miscellaneous with the Twinkie Man, a sundae, I think that's a watering can, some sunglasses, kind of a mismatch of things in that folder. And then you can make extra just blank folders. So next time you finish a project and you have extra cutouts, you can just throw them in here. And again, you can make this as big or as small as you like. And it really is an incredible system that I really like. Now that we've talked about smaller cutouts, let's move on to full page images. So I have here a simple file box that has a bunch of different file folders that are all labeled a different category. And then in each file folder, I have all of the images that fall under that category. So I pulled out my dinos folder and inside are all my pictures of dinosaurs. Now this is great for larger cutouts as well as full page images. So pages you haven't cut the image out of yet. This allows you to be really organized. And I found that this size box has been really good for me. I am assuming at some point I will outgrow this, but for me right now, it's been really perfect. And also the great thing about the labeling system is you can make your categories as detailed or as broad as you need them to be. So I have this animals folder, which is probably the thickest, heaviest folder I have in this entire box. And I could separate that out into mammals, lions, tigers, cats, dogs. I could get more specific with it, but I find that just having an animals folder works well for me. I also only add to this when I have an image that I've cut out that I ended up not needing, but I thought I was going to use when I cut it out. I try really hard not to cut things out of books unless I'm pretty sure I'm going to use them. If you're someone who harvests images from magazines very often, you might need an entire filing cabinet or something a lot larger than this. But I try really hard to keep my images in books until I know I want to use them. But it happens, I cut something out thinking I'm going to use it and I ended up not using it, so that's when it gets put into this box. So those are my two systems for organizing all of my cutouts, all of my images. I hope that you found this video at least a little bit helpful, and I would love to hear if you have a system that works for you, that you really love. Please let me know about it in the comments below. I love that we can all learn from each other. I know it's a little bit weird. I have a system for small cutouts and one for large cutouts, but this is just what works for me, and it's what I've landed on after a couple years of exploring multiple things. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!